Good morning, checking in up here at Lytle Creek. I woke up, got ready real quick, brushed my teeth. I wanted to make a cup of coffee on my fire coffee maker. I don't know what you call it, but let me turn this camera around. You know, the old school way, you put on the fire and it bubbles up. It's working good. I think it's almost done already. This is my view right now. So I just want to check in real quick. I woke up a little late. The wind was blowing really bad at like 4 to 5 in the morning. It's 8:20 right now. I woke up at about 7:20. I wanted to wake up and catch the sunrise and get some drone video. And I didn't realize when I woke up that this whole mountainside was actually burned. Which I didn't notice when I pulled up. Obviously, I can't see that far. Right here where I'm at, it's green. There's green across the wash right here. But once you start creeping up the mountain, all that is burnt. I don't know if you can tell in the video. And all this over here is burnt. So all this is burnt. Which, I mean, it is what it is. It's still beautiful. Luckily, there's snow on it. It's beautiful. And if you look way over here on this mountaintop right here, that doesn't look burnt way out there. Looks like the tree survived over there, which I would love to make it up that trail. I just think my engine's a little too old to get up. There's a steep incline going up for a little ways, and it puts a lot of pressure on my engine, I think, and it just wasn't having it, trying to get over a last hump. But it's supposed to be really beautiful up there. Hopefully one of my buddies will come and we'll be able to go check it out. I haven't been able to check it out in person. But anyway, I'm not selling this. I bought it, I think, off TikTok shop for 30 or 40 bucks. And at first I was like, I don't even use this thing. And then I went camping with my buddies and I was able to put this next to my chair and my little table right here. And I was able to charge, my camera, my phone, multiple times. Didn't charge it at all. But I killed the battery 100%. It sees the sun, so it's trying to charge right now. I don't know if you can see the blue lights blinking. So I just want to see what this thing does as far as the solar panel. I think it's only 3 watts or 5 watts or something. But if I leave it out for the day or most of the day, I might go drive around and explore Lytle Creek. There is still a little area that I haven't been to, but I'm not sure I could camp there. But anyway, I might go up the trail a little bit and see if some of the other campgrounds are taken. But anyway, there was a lot of wind at 4 to 5 in the morning. Woke me up. My Velcro on my tent siding for this pop-up camper are old. So kind of hold on, I gotta take this thing off the fire. So kind of woke me up. The wind came in. Had to close some of the windows back up. Well, the main one, the big one in the front right next to my head blew open. Another one on the other side blew open a little bit, but I didn't get up. I was too tired. I just let it stay open a little bit. But it did keep me up because I was trying to hold the window shut right behind my head. The Velcro is really old. I only had to Velcro back up once, but then the wind hit it a lot, and I was kind of just holding it with my hand, which seemed to work. So a little bit of different endeavors when you have an older vehicle, an older camper and everything. But anyway, I'm gonna try and get this thing off of the fire. I don't need that. I don't have any coffee in it yet. Anyway, I need this. I'm just gonna go over here and put it in the sun for a while. So I had charged up a bunch of stuff yesterday with this, trying to kill the battery. And as I slept, I turned the flashlight on and let it drain all the way till it died. So now I want to set this thing up in the sun. This looks like a good part. And this thing is, I believe, waterproof rated. It just has this little plug for the power points. It has 2 USB-A, I guess, the older power outlets, and then 2 of the newer USB-C power points. And this also charges it. Has a Creek charger, which I might test out tomorrow. Has the 2 wires that come with it, plus the one for the older iPhone lightning jack or whatever it's called. I have it sitting on my truck right now. But anyway, I'm just going to set it up here against the rock, charge it toward the sun, leave it on the ground because it's more rugged. I think you are supposed to be able to put it on the ground. So I'm going to leave it right there on the ground, point into the sun, and see how things go. I'm going to have my cup of coffee, enjoy the view a little bit, and then make some more video. I appreciate you again if you're joining me. I'll catch you in a couple minutes. Thanks. Okay, how you doing? I've been chilling all day up here. Didn't really shoot very much video. Kind of just explored a little bit, walking around, chilled out. Enjoyed the view. Didn't even set out my hammock, which I usually do. Worked on the truck a little bit, took some notes, see what else I want to do to it. You know, it's always an upgrade or a change or this or that. You could do these things. But I want to really quick, before the sun goes down, to go over some of the stuff that I did on the vehicle. I think today I'll mostly get to the truck itself, suspension, engine stuff that I did. Not a lot, but just regular stuff, maintenance stuff, preventative maintenance stuff. So I'll start from the front to the back. I'll try to include links and stuff, some of the stuff that I bought if I could figure out how to do the Amazon link stuff. But to start out, when I first started driving the truck, you can't see shit with those old lights. So it was horrible trying to drive at night. But first, I got the headlights, the blinker lights, not the sidebar lights, but just these ones, which are, I believe, LED. This is actually really thin. I gotta tighten that up. I didn't buy these yet, but I do want to buy these and a new grill all at one time. I had to buy this. This was broken. This is kind of since I didn't buy the truck. Since my buddy gave me the truck for free, he was moving. He didn't want to have to deal with trying to sell it. He almost sold it to somebody, but they were asking a million questions and he was trying to sell it for like nothing. So it was kind of a headache for him to try to explain everything to this guy. So I said, I'll buy it off you. How much you want for it? And you want it? Are you sure? It's a good buddy of mine, like a brother. He's my brother. So I told him, I really want to go out camping. I have my bus that I have a schoolie that I go camping with my kids. But I would love to go into off-road trails and kind of to get out more away from everybody. So he gave it to me, handed me the keys, gave me the pink, said it's all yours. So I did some work since then. So I rebuilt the entire front end as far as bushings, bearings, anything with suspension on the front end. The steering coupler, the tie rods I changed, they weren't broken or nothing. I just keep seeing videos and horror stories of broken tie rod ends, so I got the MOB, I think it's MOOB, upgraded type of tie rod ends, inner and outer. Pitman arm, idler arm. I had to do the upper control arms twice. The first ones I did were the MOB ones, or MOG. And I had them on for about 3 months, and my tires were loose again. So I took it back to a shop, and they said, yeah, you need new upper arms. And I said, I just replaced them, maybe not even 3 months ago. So they suggested I get the rough country tie rod ends for this vehicle. They have more of an angle at the ball joint, on the upper ball joint. So I've got them. I've had them on now for probably 6 months, 8 months, maybe even more now. And they're doing great so far. So they're an upgraded A-arm. They're thicker. They look great. I can only see a piece of them, but and then I got the new lowers, new lower ball joints, new bushings, new shocks. The shocks all the way around are also rough country, front and back. Rough country shocks. I have a link to the ones I got, and I was torn because I was thinking about putting more money into the shocks, because obviously you could go extremely expensive, but my whole build is kind of on a budget, trying to get out camping, trying to do more things on a budget as opposed to spending a whole lot of money and time. And a lot of the stuff done to this vehicle I didn't do myself. I have a mechanic that's extremely affordable for me, and he comes to my house. So when I'm at work, when I'm doing stuff, he'll come, put on a couple parts. Been doing everything slowly. But to move back to the vehicle, the whole front end, lower arms, ball joints, bushings, all the suspensions, all brand new. For the shocks, they were the Rancho RS 500X shocks. And my mechanic suggested them, saying, I didn't even know I needed shocks. My mechanic drove it to figure out an issue I was having. He was like, man, you need some shocks. So the first couple months when I was driving, it was like extremely difficult. It's hard. I kind of thought it was just the truck is old. I didn't realize it needed shocks. So he said, these shocks are affordable. They work, pretty good off-road. They're not meant for high speed or anything like that. They're just comfortable. And they're also a little bit stiff for the roads, the maintained, developed roads, hard roads that go into the mountains, because I go through a lot of canyons and stuff. So he put them on. Sure enough, for me, they work great. For somebody who's off-roaded a lot, they're probably not for them, but for me on a budget, they work great. I think they were $250 for all the shocks all the way around or something like that. I got airlift bags in the back of the truck because it was sagging a little bit, with my camper. I'll try to get a link for that too. They work pretty good. I just have the nipple sticking out of the back of the bumper. 2 of them for left and right. So far they've been great, no issues. For the 4x4, we redid, or had him install brand new CV axle assemblies on both sides. The rear diff seal, pinion seal, 4x4 front solenoid, the rear diff cover. We replaced it and upgraded it with one that has the fluid add plug on it, so it's easier to get to for maintenance. I had to do a brand new transmission, a rebuilt transmission over in Chatsworth. I believe it was called Chatsworth transmission. I believe it was $1,500 for a rebuilt transmission installed. And I think they had my truck for like a week. And so far, so good. Kind of wish I would have upgraded the transmission to a heavier duty one, but it's just a regular transmission. But so far, so good. We redid all the fluids through the axle, the transfer case, the differential, all new fluids. Had to do a new catalytic converter because I didn't pass smog. Luckily, it was $50 or $100. It was a really cheap catalytic converter. New muffler. I put a new Flowmaster muffler on it while he was doing while my mechanic was doing the catalytic converter, because I had to be welded in. He does welding. We did a new steering pump and a new alternator that I recently upgraded the alternator and the battery. The alternator, I got it from AutoZone, and the bolts fit. I'll show it to you right now. The bolts fit on it in the placement, but the bolt on the other side was a thinner bolt when it should have been a thicker bolt, or opposite. So I didn't install it myself. Usually you can, but this one had a little bit different setup with the bolts for some reason. Not the placement, but how thick this junction is right here. It was different. So my mechanic installed it, set it up. I believe this was 220 or 230 amp. I have to look. I'm gonna put it on my list. Or it might have been 260 amp. Maybe it was 230. Anyway, new alternator, new Optima battery, the best one I could buy for this truck. I didn't want to mess around with startup issues. And then moving on, we'll stay on the outside. I got the lights. I got new tires all the way around, not all at once. I got one tire each month when I got paid. One tire, it came with one KO2 in the back. And then finally, I was able to recently get the two new front tires, KO3s. So KO3s in the front and KO2s in the back. They all got a lot of meat on them. They're all basically still brand new. Headlights, I'll put a link on these. They're way affordable. I think they were like $200. They're the Amazon special ones. I know you could buy the $700 ones that are probably gonna last a lot longer than these. I don't have that place right now with me to be able to spend that much on one item. Moving from the front to the back, I got these headlights recently, these ditch lights. I believe they're 2450 lumens, and they're from Tractor Supply. For both of these two, I believe it was $169, which is extremely cheap for off-road lights. I know. I think the Bajas like this, the other major brands, are in the 500s to thousands. What kicked it off was my buddy gave me this light bar for free off of his truck. I just have it on magnets right now, so I'm trying to figure out how far forward I want it, if I want to put a bracket over the windshield so it doesn't blind me when I drive. So right now it's just on a magnet bracket, which works fine so far, but it lights up really good. I mean, I can't complain. I couldn't see when I was driving at night before. Bought these from Tractor Supply. Thought they were floodlights. They're actually a spotlight, but I like them. But I'm gonna change it to a spot. I'm gonna change this to a floodlight, and I'm gonna buy the correct bracket that mounts right here for this light, because I hate this. This does this while I drive and it bugs the hell out of me. So I found the bracket that I could put right here and mount this light here, and I'm gonna try to put that spotlight right next to it, and I'm gonna get a floodlight for back here. That's what I'm planning on doing. It's a Midland, I'll get the model number. It's a decent one. I think it's like $300. But I had my mechanic come and hardwire it in to my truck. And my mechanic also set up the switches for everything right here. This is the control center for all of the lights. I have a onboard air compressor that I need to upgrade. I'm gonna power it here at some point. And maybe the CB radio, I don't know yet. But anyway, I got everything powered through here. This is a control panel. This is all wrapped up. Goes to my battery. Right there you see I have a breaker for that. And this is a fuse for the power that goes back to this goes straight back to the house battery. This is a switch for the house battery, so it'll never drain my battery, my truck battery. This will only turn on once the voltage gets up to a certain voltage, and it will shut off. It'll stop charging once I stop driving. New belt. I had to put a new belt on for preventative maintenance. Oh, the new steering. There's a steering coupler down there. I forgot what it was called, but we had to change that. I had to get new hinges for this because it wasn't holding up the hood when I opened it up. I built this myself. You can tell it's kind of cheap, but I keep coffee, milk, whatever in there. But anyway, I keep my ladder. This ladder slides right in there, so it's perfect. Now on the other side, I keep my grill that goes on top of my fire pit, which I need to change because it's overheating my fire pit. We'll talk about that in a minute. I have these that I bought. They're easy to install, but I do want to change them. It doesn't work out 100% the way I like it to. And I have the power going through some Anderson connections. And under this fridge, because my fridge went down, turn off my... Alright, I just had to move some stuff around so I could get to the battery. I'm just talking about the battery system real quick. I started with just the EcoFlow, and the EcoFlow would charge directly from the battery coming from the switch that I showed you up front. The problem with that, coming from that battery to this EcoFlow through the connection in the back, you know, where you can charge solar to EcoFlow. I got an EcoFlow 2000 Max, the first one, not the new one. Works great, I love it, no problems. But when I started off winter camping, when I first started like really getting out, it was winter, and I was going to Big Bear a lot, and I kept running out of battery even in the middle of the night, and my heater would shut off and it'd be freezing. So I connected the charging to it, which it only charged at 140 watts maybe, which obviously is not enough because you need more charge to really put these things up in a short amount of time as far as the charge. But anyway, so I got the EcoFlow 2000 Max, and then I ended up getting a house battery that stays in the house all the time, but it doesn't connect to the house. It connects directly to my truck battery. So the truck battery turns on and it charges my house battery. My house battery, I'm gonna put a link on it because I can't really get to it. It's back up in a very small cubby hole, which kind of sucks, but it's right back here. So that is a 230 amp hour lifetime lithium battery. I believe it's LiPo 4. That is connected straight to a lifetime 60 amp DC to DC charger that's in the back. You can probably see it right there. Yeah, right there. Back there is my DC to DC charger. That charges up the lifetime. The lifetime is then connected to my EcoFlow DC to DC charger. That charges my EcoFlow directly, and that'll charge at 900 watts, which is great. It charges pretty quick. I forgot how long, maybe 4 hours or 2 hours or something. I really wanted to this should almost triple the capacity of my EcoFlow. The EcoFlow is 100 amp hours, and I got a 230 amp hour lifetime, so that almost triples the battery power or length of time for my EcoFlow, which has worked out great so far. I haven't had any issues with it. So that's what I've done so far. I do want to rebuild this, reconfigure it, whatever, so it's not this messy. Obviously, this isn't going to be the way it's left. But that's what's going on right now with my power. That's what's worked out with me so far. So I got my Optima battery. It's one of the better ones you could buy for these trucks for the size of it. I believe it was $360 or something like that. That's not part of the budget build, obviously. I just don't want to mess with power. When it comes to power, when I'm camping, especially I like to go cold camping because there's less people. I like to get out there further, especially with cold camping. I like to get out further away from people. And there's not as much people when there's snow on the ground. Not a lot of people come out. Some people come out for day use, but they don't really camp overnight. So I want to be overpowered instead of underpowered when it comes to electricity. So far it's been great. We'll start talking about the next point, which is the RV itself, the camper. I installed this this propane heater, and I plumbed it straight to the plumbing of the RV. It works great, except for it takes a long time to get started. Like, it purges forever. I think it might be because I have everything plugged into my EcoFlow, because I want to monitor. I want to see how much power I'm using, what type of issues I might have, so I can make some changes. Sorry, this is not permanent. I just redid that today, trying to mess with something, trying to test something out. I think if I hook this straight to the battery, it should work better, because this EcoFlow has one port coming out for 12 volts. I have that split into two ports. So one goes to this little refrigerator that I had to buy because my RV refrigerator needs to be repaired. I haven't got a chance to drop it off to get repaired yet. But it handles 125 watts coming out of that car 12 volt port. But I think with this thing on and that thing going through the house battery to the house lights, I think maybe it's just not enough amps. So next, I think I'll try to go straight to the battery, which I didn't want to do because I want to monitor everything, but just to see if it starts up quicker. Anyway, that's what I have set up. And I have a bathroom here. It's a water one that, you flush it and it goes downstairs to the little, tank on the bottom. Gray tank, black tank. Works great. I loved it. I had it on my bus. The only problem with this particular one in this camper, the flush is over here on the side. So I have to pull out my battery and flush it whenever I want, which I haven't used yet. I haven't had to. Usually I could wait for the weekend or drive around and find a vault toilet somewhere. This I really have for my kids. My littlest kids, when they gotta go, they gotta go. They might have to go in the middle of the night, so. But I do have a Lugaloo, not a Lugaloo, but a portable toilet. Oh, right here. It's a folding portable toilet. And I do want to get working on a camp shower, a hot shower. Either I'm going to connect it to the side of the truck where it folds out, or I'm going to do a self-standing one. Which I'm thinking about self-standing more because in summer, when the mosquitoes are out and the flies, the folding one that comes off the trucks or campers, it's like a folding one that's a square and you could take a shower or put your pooper in it. Most of them aren't sealed up, so bugs could get into them. So, or I think they can. It doesn't look like they're sealed. There's no screen on them. But if you go with one of the portable pop-up ones that kind of pop up pretty quick, not the cheap one. I have a really, really cheap pop-up one, shower tent. But the more robust one that could be held down in the wind better, those are all screened in. Those are fully zippered. I don't think bugs can get into those. So I think I'm going to go the route of the self-standing shower. And I'm starting to look at hot water propane systems right now. Even though I have one in my bus, it's a little portable Campalux that I just hang up and I hook stuff to it is kind of bigger. And obviously I'm in a truck, so it's a lot smaller. Okay, but anyway, that's my toilet. That's my fridge that's broken. This is my new fridge I got off Facebook Marketplace from, surprisingly, an overnighter over in Chatsworth, California area, I believe it was. And he reviewed my channel, I reviewed his channel, we looked at each other, so we're kind of friends now. But I got this for 60 bucks and it works great. It just takes up more room than it should. So I'm trying to figure out my refrigerator situation. And then I will go on to the next point in a minute. Hold on one second. Okay, the next part of the walkthrough is, this is my stove. It's a 3-burner stove, propane, works great. I have no problems with it. I would like at some point to rebuild this whole cabinet because it's coming apart. It's coming apart down here at the bottom, coming apart all through here, coming apart on that back end. Obviously it's not made for what I do. That's why they have aluminum lighter campers for the guys that do what I do. I'm just not spending that kind of money right now. So I think I could rebuild this myself. I do have a cabinet carpentry guy friend that I could probably have help me, but I do want to change the sink. I do want to change the faucet. It's hard to wash dishes under a faucet that small. I might change this. I might get a new heater that's smaller because this is kind of overkill for my little camper. But it's great in the winter and the snow. When it's really cold, that thing keeps up with the R-4 tent pop-up thing that I have. This doesn't hold heat at all. So I don't know, this bigger propane heater kind of keeps up with it. I've never ran out of propane yet. What else? I do have a little bit of storage under here. I have my water storage. That, I believe, is a 10-gallon water, or 8-gallon. I do have some storage in here, but not a lot. I don't like to fill it up too much because I was pulling that up, messing with it. Right there's my water pump. I gotta replumb that. But I don't like to put too much stuff in there by the heater so it doesn't start a fire. This is my lower storage, which is very thin. There's not a lot of storage in this truck. Not a lot at all. I'm hoping once I might move my toilet system outside with a dry toilet, a foldable dry toilet out in a tent, I might take this out and use that for storage, or I might add another battery right here and then create a system right there for a bus bar and monitor and all types of stuff. So that might be my whole utility closet thing right there. I don't know yet. This is how I do storage stuff right now. Right now, this one, I keep it on the bottom that has all my extra oil, anything for the truck, anything for the camper, parts, bunch of weird spare parts and wires, all types of shit. I have my jack in there. It's one of those hydraulic pump cylinder jacks. I forgot what they're called. Coke jack or whatever they're called, but it's heavy duty. All the stuff, maintenance-wise, is in there. Extra radiator fluid. This one has all my pots and pans. Works great. This has all my dry food. Works great. Can't complain. These are from Home Depot. They're the smallest one of this sort, but they're taller. I tried the smaller ones that are here. I tried one of them, and it goes from here to here, but it was too small. Because in here I could fit like a cereal box, or in this one I have my tall coffee maker down here. It could fit in here tall wise if I need to. These are great. I think they were $12 each, $14 each. Home Depot. 3 of them, dry food, pots and pans, and my truck stuff. And those come down here on the floor when I'm driving, or up here when I put the tent down. Right now this comes right here on the floor. I have some stuff up here. My bedding, I should get a better, I love this, it's so comfortable. This is from a surplus store, Army surplus store. It was brand new, sorry. This, I love it. This sleeping bag, I never have to zip it up. and it's so fluffy and comfortable. I love it, but it's really big when I have to wrap it. And I bought one of these storage things on Amazon, which is great. It fits it, but this is so cheap. I already ripped it. But I might get a better sleeping bag. I don't like to be confined when I sleep. I have regular sized pillows, 2 of them. I love pillows. I don't believe in camping and not being comfortable. If you're not comfortable when you're camping, you got this little tiny pillow and you're mummified in a sleeping bag. I mean, if you're not comfortable when you're camping, you're doing something wrong. Personally, for me, I want to be comfortable. Regular sized pillows, large size sleeping bag, too large, I get it. I want to show you this. I bought this from REI. Right here is a spatula. Right here is it's like a big spoon for cooking. I lost this one. This, you wash your dishes. This, wash your hands. This is some cooking oil. I love this. It wraps up. I hang it here. It's great. I just bought this one from REI. This is the GSI Outdoors knife set. I just got this recently. This is my second time using it camping. I wanted this huge bamboo one that had multiple layers in it. It was like $150. And I realized I don't really have a place to store something that large. I just wanted it larger because it had a big cutting board on the top. So I ended up getting this and I love it. It has a little cutting board, wash rag. I don't have nothing in there yet. 3 knives. I've only used the small one, so I just washed it. So I'm gonna put this away here pretty soon. And this was, I think, $50 or $60 or something like that. So this is, I got from REI. I think you can get it on Amazon. GSI Outdoors little knife set. It's great. I love it. This, I believe, is also GSI. I know this is Sea to Summit Camp Kitchen Toolkit. This is great. The only thing it's missing is like seasoning. Like you get seasoning in there, that would be great. My heaters, I just mounted this recently. My heater just turned on. So I have this wired down to that. What else? What else can I show you? I just got this also. This is great. I actually do like it. The only problem is the plates. There's plates in here. There's cups, which we've used with the kids, which I've used with the kids. I've used the plates which are good for kids. But the little plate, when you have a big ass steak and a potato, it doesn't fit. So keep it in mind. I love this kit. There's 2 pots, which I never had pots before, and I love them. 1 pan, which is great, and they're on non-stick, and nothing sticks to them. Once it dries, I use a paper towel and I wipe it real quick with the paper towel. Everything breaks loose. I throw the little flakes outside, and then I wash it with a little bit of water and soap, rinse it a little bit, and it's great. Nothing sticks. This is GSI Outdoors. It's a kit for 4, and I believe that was $150. Everything works great but the plates. If you buy this kit, I'm gonna see if I can do the Amazon link, and I might do reviews, I don't know. But anyway, I love this. This is great. And you can use this outer layer as a camp kitchen to wash dishes outside if you want. That's what it's meant for. And each little cup comes with a cap. Me and the kids had hot chocolate in it. And the way it's designed is really easy for the kids to drink. Because it's like a smaller lip. So when they drink, it doesn't spill past their mouth when they drink too fast. So that's been cool. This is my spatula that I just washed, and that goes right in here. These are a couple little things that I got. They are a little bit more expensive. I just recently started spending a little bit of money on the camping stuff. You could take pots and pans from home just to get outside. It's great. For me, it was kind of a headache. I started doing that from the beginning, and it's a little much. As much as I camp, I try to go out every other weekend, sometimes a couple weekends in a row when I have the kids. It's kind of a lot, like hauling everything from the house into the camper and then back. And then I'm 40 5 years old. So leaning over to go through this back and forth, trying to load up the truck. So try to buy stuff that just stays in the truck now, and it's a lot easier. I mean, I could almost, besides my clothes and loading up some cold food, and I'm out. It's pretty quick, as long as I got the dry food that I want. Anyway, I think that's everything for now. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about what I use, how I use it, why I use it. Oh, one last thing. I got one of these little, it's a cooking system with 2 cups and butane or a fuel system that you see it when I'm cooking coffee. I love this. It's so easy to set it up, cook some coffee. I've had this forever. This is the first thing I've had, and I love it. Okay, communications. We'll do that next. Hold on. Okay, we'll go over communications really quick. I don't want this to be too long of a video, but anyway, first line of communication that I had was my Garmin InReach. I forgot what model this is. This is, I'll link it, but this was expensive. When I first started camping, I was like, I think it was $600. I was like, $600, holy shit. But I have kids. And I love to be able to stay in contact with them, with their mom actually, because their mom has her phone, right? Now I can keep in contact with my other kid. He's 17, turned 18, just turned 18. My other kid, 9 years old, he has a little phone, little kid's phone, but cellular. I could restrict who's calling him. I could text him on this, check in with them. Plus the maps, it's great for hiking, great for tracking. I haven't got into everything on this. I really want to, but having a Garmin, even the smaller one, you can get for like $200 on Facebook Marketplace now. Something like this is great. Second form of communication that I have now, recently, well, not recent, but I bought the Stairlink Mini, and it's freaking great. I'm so happy I have that. I know we want to disconnect when we come out camping, and I do take a break. I don't go on it for hours and hours at a time, but it's important for my job. I have had issues where I really should have had a Stairlink, but everything worked out. But anyway, Stairlink is great. I have it for my kids. I have it for my work. I monitor cameras on multiple properties throughout LA, so I really need it for work. And it's great with the kids because at night when we're chilling, they'll hop on the iPad, watch a movie, fall asleep. It's like a whole event for them to be able to do that. And for emergencies, it's great. For emergencies, this is really great. And now, recently, my iPhone, so 14 Plus, once I updated, I could do the, okay, if I go into this, if you look down at the bottom, satellite communication. Once I push that, no, I don't want to try demo. Oh, so if I turn off my Wi-Fi and I turn off my airplane mode, this will give me the availability to communicate through text, which I do quite often when I'm out, and I test it wherever I'm at to see if I have any issues with one of my prepper buddies. And it works great. Anywhere I'm at so far, I've been able to shoot out a text through the satellite on, I think I have the 14 Pro Max. So if you can, try to set that up. It does work. It takes about, I timed it, it was about 3.5 minutes round trip from connecting to the satellite, sending the message. Then I had to find a new satellite because I'm in the mountains. So the first satellite disappeared behind the mountain, and then it wanted me to turn around and get to the other satellite. So it took like 3.5 minutes, and my buddy confirmed that he got my text. So I got 3 forms of communication. I got 2 forms of heat. I have my main heat source, which is on my RV, and my backup heat source is my buddy heater, which I have had to use. I was able to do it safely. I do have 2 of these in my truck with me, so redundancy is very important to me. So I got 3 forms of communication to the outside world in case I need emergency or to get hold of my kids. I have two forms of CO2 alerts in case I'm in here and something happens. Honestly, dude, this doesn't work. I have magnets hooked up to it. My other one at the front has issues, so I have one magnet hooked up to it. There's air leaks everywhere in this thing. I film all the time. I probably won't have an issue with CO2, but I have that redundancy. I have two of them. For what else? Water. I only have, well, there is a redundancy. I have my tank under my sink for my RV. I also got, I always bring a fresh 24 pack, 30 pack of bottled water with me every time. I know, don't want to waste plastic and all that. I don't give a fuck right now. But anyway, so I have two water sources. Power, I have two. I have my EcoFlow 2000 Max is one source, and then I have my 230 Lifetime, and it's a really good battery. That's why I chose it. So it has a BPMS or BMS system in it that keeps it from overheating, keeps it from getting too cold and getting damaged when it charges. You know, if it's freezing outside and you try to charge it, it won't let you charge it because you could damage it. You got to bring it up to temperature and then charge it. And I believe it even has the self-heating part of it to try to keep it warm enough before it gets to the point where you can't charge it. So far it's worked great. I haven't had any issues with it. I bought it off Amazon. Redundancy, I'm going to try to get another water filter system. I have it planned out. I figure out what I want to do. Now I'm just going to buy it, you know, over the next month or two when the checks come in. And I'll share that with you, the type of water system. I love to camp. Part of what I do is camp. I love being out. I love cooking. I love having coffee. I love just the views. And another part, I'm a mild prepper. Not to extent, but I do have some backup supplies at home, backup water supplies, water filter supplies. I'm trying to move that into my every camping trip to where I know I could be ready if I need to. Don't think we'll have to, but if I need to be out of town with my kids, I know what I need, I know what works, I know what doesn't work, and I could adjust accordingly as needed because I have everything I need on me most of the time. I do camp a little heavy. My truck is heavy. I'm thinking about upgrading to a F350. That'll be to come, hopefully, within this next year. But I do love camping. And I do kind of love prepping. Not like I love my kids, but I love the fact that I feel like I'm prepared if something happens to get through a small to maybe even a major event. So I'm trying to prepare for that in small ways. I don't want to spend a whole lot of income trying to prep. I don't have that kind of money to be doing it, but I do want to make sure that there's not a surprise on my end if something happens. Let me know if you want me to share that with you. What I'm doing for my prep, it's nothing crazy. I don't do hydration right now. I'm not canning stuff, nothing like that. But I do believe in being a little bit prepared, which is part of the reason why I camp so much, to be honest with you. I try to get out as much as I can to see the systems, the redundancy systems that I have. I am ex-military. I do have some training, nothing crazy. But I have been able to bring that out camping with me, and my thought process on building different systems and different redundancies to be able to commit to a goal and achieve it. And I feel like I'm doing that so far. So I've had a couple problems when I'm out camping, and I've been able to change stuff, figure stuff out. So that's what I'm doing, part of it. But I do love camping, and I love creating content, and I love editing and making and finding the music and getting the video out there, not only for you guys, but for my kids. One day I'm not going to be here, but my kids can always look back with their kids and see what their dad did. So part of what I do. Anywho, I'm going to go enjoy my fire that I just let sit out here by itself. I'm going to enjoy this moon behind me, enjoy my fire below me, this view I have in front of me. hopefully I'll get back to you soon. Gotta close up my hood and my truck and everything. Oh, that's my Starlink. I do have magnetic. Let's talk about that real quick. 2 minutes, sorry. Starlink, this is the Mini. I bought a 3D printed case for it, and I did put magnetic mounts on it so I could stick it to my hood of my truck because I like to see it while I'm driving in case it falls off. I know what happened to it. But sometimes you do need to dismount it because right now my hood, where's my hood? My hood is directly under this tree, so I was getting no communication when I first got here. So sometimes you got to dismount it. You set it up at a certain angle. That is my emergency breakdown bag with my tow kit, flashlight, one of those generic emergency kits. I just lean in on it in the right direction, and now I have like really kick-ass service right now. Okay, sorry, that might have been a long part of the video. I don't normally do that. I just wanted to show you what I have, what I do, when I do, why I do it. I look like Halloween right now. Thank you guys if you stuck through this whole thing. Hope to see you on the next one. Let's see if I can zoom in on this moon for you. It is beautiful right now. You're not gonna be able to make it out, but I could see the man on the moon, and it looks awesome. All right, this will be the end of the video for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. All right, I almost forgot about my solar charger battery thing. It's over here on the ground. Set this out in the sun all day. I think my timer, I just checked, it was about 9 hours somehow. How's it only 9 hours? Anyway, so this was charging all day. Let me see. And it has 1 bar out of 4 to set this thing out all day to charge. I mean, it is what it is. You know, some of these come with multiple panels. This only has 1 little panel. So it has some charge on it. And then also it has a crank on it, so you could crank it. A little crank on it, so you could wind it up and crank it. Maybe I should test that out. Do that for 15 minutes and see how much juice it provides. But anyway, if you get one of these with the single panel, you might want to buy a secondary panel setup. Maybe that has an output of USB-C, probably at least 40 amps, 30 amps, little solar panel system if you want to charge this in an emergency, which I'm thinking a lot more now that we have the fires in California. People are without power. I'm starting to focus more on emergency stuff, emergency gear, all that kind of stuff. Where's the moon at? Oh, it's over there. Yeah, so I'm starting to worry more about emergency stuff now, but I think I'll start focusing on that during my camping trips. Stuff that I use for camping, how I use it, and emergency stuff, they kind of go hand in hand a little bit when you think about it. So I'm going to start shifting the focus of my channel, I think, to include that type of stuff. The stuff I have now is great. I love doing it. I think I'm going to include some more informational stuff for you guys. I like when I'm watching YouTube videos and the YouTuber is explaining stuff that they have, stuff that they're using, what works, what doesn't work, and exactly what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out on my own, so I should include that for you guys to be able to skip some of the missteps that I took. I'll wake up in the morning, do some drone video again, heading out, kind of like the last one maybe. I don't know yet, but I'm having a good time. Thank you guys for joining me. See you tomorrow. Bye.